Councilmember Clayton?
Here.
Councilmember Kendall?
Here.
Councilmember Warner?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Here.
Mayor Moore?
Here.
All right, to begin the work session for January 14th. All right, this is carryover, all right, from our work session of Monday, January 12th, all right, which presentations were presented to the council. All right, do we have any questions, all right, comments from the council on any of the presentations?
No, I think we just talked about John and Joe following back up with Robert about questions they had about the bi-yearly inspections for COs.
Down the road, correct. But nothing on tonight's agenda. Any questions?
Nothing for tonight.
Well, that being the case, then I would turn it over to comments from council. Joe, you can go first.
All right, so, and we have, was that just on presentations, or was that on the whole agenda all the way down to comments by council?
What I'm asking for
this
is
is
if
the
there's
work
any
session.
questions or any comments from any of the presentations that were made to council on Monday evening during the work session. All right, since there were no questions or comments, all right, we're moving right down to, all right, matters to be brought up by the city council.
Okay, so then I'll just bring up a couple things. Under the city manager search, I just wanted to officially, I sent everyone a company, a headhunter company. Sent it to you, Tony, and copied everyone and Fred, so that they're highly recommended, so add that to the group.
I'll include them.
Possibly, thank you. And then boards and commissions and committees. So we did the planning board and the zoning board at the original, our inauguration or swearing in, and we are moving stepwise with the boards and committees. So we don't want to do it all at once. We want to populate the boards as we go along, and after reviewing the applications and people who sent things in, we're appointing the ones that have previously existed first, and those that received the most applicants. So I just wanted to discuss with the council, the commissions. So Deal Lake is up first, and the suggestion was suggesting Sue Henderson to be reappointed for a year, and Nancy Carter as the alternate. Everyone's okay with that? And then the Wesley Lake Commission would be myself as the council representative, Sue Henderson as the city manager's designee, T. Lazinski, and then Jim Henry and Gail Rosewater as the alternates. Everyone's okay with that?
Yes.
And then Recreation Committee would be existing members reappointed, which would include Nancy Sabino, Esther Pekarski, and Doug Eagles. In addition, Jesse Kendall, Joe Warner, and Angela Anderson. Everybody's good? And finally, special events is just two council members, Councilman Kendall and Mayor Moore. So those are the four that we would move on tonight with those names. Okay, that was
Sounds
all.
good.
That was all I have.
Thanks.
Just to piggyback on what Joe just said, there are a number of other committees that we're going to be working with, and if you are interested, please let us know. We're looking for input from everybody in the city. If it's something that you're interested in and you'd like to be a part, let us know. And second, and this is a question, Fred, we have been talking about doing town hall meetings throughout the city, and if we do that, that's something that we have to broadcast, right, in the newspapers as if all 5 council members are going to be in attendance?
Yes, I would recommend that the meeting be noticed as a special meeting of the council, and you can certainly hold a special meeting of the council anywhere within the city. You would have to notice that as part of your official notice, and I would recommend that you also place an advertisement in a local newspaper to try to get the word out as best as possible.
Okay, next question is the location. It has to be a location that will allow us to tape the meeting. Is that necessary?
It's not required by law. All that's required by law is that you have minutes of the meeting. It would be preferable, of course, if it could be at a location where you could run the tape system, but it's not legally required.
Okay, so we can have an open forum where people can just come and talk to us?
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be taped?
You're correct. You would have to have your city clerk there to take minutes.
All right, thank you.
Can I follow up on what Yvonne's saying? Because I think we've gone back and forth on an email. So obviously, prior to January 1, we would go to, all of us generally would go to the homeowners, whatever meetings we would all, give or take, go to. So the standard now for us to, like, and let's just use the homeowners as an example, a homeowner meeting, should only 2 of us go to that? Or can more than 2 of us go? If there's the potential that at the homeowners meeting, they're going to be talking about Asbury-related business.
If there's a potential that they're going to be talking about Asbury Park business, I would recommend that you limit it to only 2.
Okay.
Especially if the council members may be participating in a discussion, a group discussion that may be taking place.
Okay.
How about if we don't participate?
I'd still recommend that you stick to only 2 people, unless you notice, and you can always notice and have a special meeting off-site, as I indicated earlier. The Open Public Meetings Act technically speaks of your all being together, or at least invited to participate together, such that there are more than a quorum of you, with the intention to discuss city business. One might say, well, we had no intention to discuss city business. I'm just trying to avoid any possible question. That doesn't prevent you from attending public events when there are other members of the public there and you're not all sitting together. If in fact you do end up in a situation where more than a quorum of you are present at some public event, I would just recommend that you're not all sitting together and that you're not discussing public business collectively. I always try to err on the side of caution with these types of things and limit it to only 2 of you at a time.
Okay.
Done?
No.
No, I mean,
No, I was just following up on
Jesse?
Yvonne.
No comment at this time.
Amy?
Yes, similar to what I asked for Monday night, update, just can you give us all an update on, we went out to RFP on a bunch of professional services, a bunch of attorney services, and you got any update?
The Finance Department has gone through all of the packages. They've opened all of the packages. They've unsealed them at this point. Spreadsheets have been made. They've begun the process of looking through them. We're hoping that they're going to go through them in as a timely manner as they possibly can. We don't have a scheduled date at this point as to the conclusion of the bids.
Okay, no, I'll follow up with Ricky on a time frame, that's all. No, I want him to narrow it down to the top 3.
Okay.
Can I have and we can discuss this, but I don't know, let's say we went out for quotes for a bond attorney. And 25 law firms applied for it. Can Ricky narrow it down to the top 5? I mean, I don't need to go through all 25 of them, but I would like to go through more than one. He can have a recommendation of top 3 or top 5, and then ultimately we would make that decision, no?
You tell us.
He's doing a spreadsheet on all, and bonding attorney may be done already, where did they meet the qualifications of the RFP? Are they licensed in the state of New Jersey and then I think it's beneficial if we look at all of them.
So
Each of you are going to get, a copy of
The spreadsheet.
each one, not only the spreadsheet, but each one of the bids.
Okay.
That come in. And then as they go through them, they'll provide you with a spreadsheet. As you go through each one of those bid proposals, you're going to be able to match it up against the information that they're providing you on that spreadsheet.
Okay,
If
and
you have
that's,
questions about it, you can bring it back to the committee.
well, let me ask you this, just so I'm not handed 100 applications for 10 different,
It's-
labor bond, can I get them in piecemeal? Can I get, as soon
Yes.
as he's done with bond, can I get bond? As soon as he's done with labor, can I get labor? Just so it's not all at once. Similar to what we're doing with the committees, right? You have a little bit of time to think, you do it somewhat methodically. Somewhat.
You can get 3 of them tomorrow. 3 of them are done.
Okay, and then is that, hold on. I asked for a presentation on mercantile licenses, just not immediately, but at some point, because they seem to be their own monster. Okay. All right, thanks, Tony.
Done?
Yes.
Couple things, and some of them no hurry, some of them a hurry. So anything a hurry, and when I mean a hurry, I'm not looking for the answer tonight. We all know that we have a tragedy waiting to happen at the sewer plant via the roof, which leaks and right onto the main electrical panels. When are we going out to RFPs to correct that? So that's a top priority. Another top priority I would want, and that's my number one. The rest can fall in whatever order. Down the road, can we get an update of what we've been reimbursed since Sandy, what we're still owed, and what's the deadline before we lose it because we haven't filed and the state says, hey guys, Sandy was 4 years ago and you haven't filed? An update on the footbridge, I think, should be fairly quick since we read in the papers a couple of weeks ago or a month ago that we were going to get that and have it. An update on the Springwood Avenue Park, since we spent $107,000 over a year ago for an architect to design it, which was already designed, and we haven't had an update, so I would think that's pretty top priority. And this is not top priority, but something I don't want to forget about, and all of a sudden come May and June, we have to go out for an RFP for the Jazz Festival. So I suggest we start drawing that up and we put that out, so hopefully we can have a jazz festival in 2015, which we haven't in the last 2 years. And that's all I have, thank you. So, Tony?
Matters from the city manager.
I have one matter. General public knows is that, all right, come the latter part of January through the, all right, spring of May, all right, 2015, all right, the Sunset Avenue Bridge is going to be closed for major renovations. All right, we've left some flyers, all right, on the table back here for, all right, for you. All right, we just want to announce that the, all right, Monmouth County Planning Department, in conjunction with, all right, the Department of Transportation, will have 2 information sessions. All right, the first of which will be on January 27th, Tuesday, January 27th, from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. here at City Hall. And the second one will be between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m., all right, at the Ocean Township Public Meeting Room, all right, on Monmouth Road in Oakhurst. All right, for the general public to, all right, ask questions, all right, and to obtain information about, all right, the renovations and the length, all right, the time what the bridge will be closed. Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Matters from the city attorney.
I have no matters this evening.
We'll take a 5-minute break.
Motion to adjourn.
Second? You can't make it, I'll make it.
Did someone post it?
There was a motion by
Second.
Mayor Moore.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and we'll reconvene at 7 o'clock. Thank you.